All right, Mr. Chair, I have a motion concerning the meeting date, time, and place.
Okay.
I make a motion that the Executive Director, James Mills, be given the approval and consent of the board to schedule date, time, and place of board meetings, to contact the Secretary of State IT if necessary directly, to post meetings that are called by the chair or any two board members.
And I believe that the statute says that the chairman of the board notifies the board of the time and date of meetings.
The statute says that the chair notifies the board of time and place of meetings.
Correct.
And does not say date. I would like to make a motion that Executive Director Mills will schedule date, time, and place of board meetings. And it is still the duty of the chair to notify the board members of such.
There's a motion on the table. Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposition?
I'm not entirely confident that that is congruent with the statute. So I oppose because I'm not confident that it adheres to our statutory obligations.
The chair will exercise his right to vote and will vote no too, because I believe that the AG would agree, but I'll inquire with AG about that. So the motion carries 3-2.
Can I ask a question? Because I want to make sure what y'all are asking me to do, one. But I will say that the code says this is 21-2-30-3. With the consent of the board, schedule the time, location of all meetings and hearings, as well as maintain a schedule of all meetings and hearings available for the public review. That is under the duties of the executive director in that code section. But I work for the board, and I say to the board, I'm willing to do whatever the board wants me to do. I'm only pointing out that is what it says in the code.
All right, the motion was made and was voted on by a vote of 3-2. So
Thank you.
So my question would be, I guess, you've already voted on the meetings for September 23rd and December 9th and 10th. Is that?
no vote is taking place on that.
When is the board's next meeting?
The chair had scheduled meetings for the 23rd and 24th of September and the 9th and 10th of December. That is when the Secretary of State's office is available to hold those meetings. So if you want to do them other dates, the Secretary of State will not be available to attend those meetings, the investigators.
Well, you have to inquire. You wouldn't know that.
Well, I did because I inquired about when they were available. And they said that they have other obligations too. And those were the dates that they were available to hold meetings. So, I mean, feel free to inquire with them if you want to.
I don't have a problem with keeping those meetings in place, but should we need to have a special call meeting or an executive session or something of that nature, we will now reach out to Executive Director Mills.
Is there any further comments on that?
My availability is quite limited. You know, I have a job, and I don't get paid when I don't work. So I just want to make it clear that this is a sacrifice for me, and having additional call meetings is very challenging. I missed chairing a meeting that I had organized an hour and a half ago, because this has gone on so long. So it is, I would ask that you be cognizant, of course.
I did have a question about just the method of this. if I'm going to be asked to do this, then as I understand the method works now, the chairman calls over to SOS, the attorney for the Secretary of State, and gets those dates put on the website. And she contacts SOS IT, then they put it on the website. But that doesn't happen unless you make the call. And so my question to the board is, and to the chairman, if I make the call, because you've asked me to, if I do that, then what is the proper protocol? Am I going to be recognized when I call over to the Secretary of State's office to have that authority to say, hey, here's a date that they'd like to meet? And I'm simply asking a question.
I mean, that's the understanding. That's why we took this step, to ensure that it is on the record that you are responsible for that. So yes, they should respond to you.
Mr. Chairman, do you see any issues there? If
I can't answer for the Secretary of State.
I'm not asking you to, I'm asking you, do you see any issues?
Would you support him? Would you back up this decision should the Secretary of State push back on responding to our executive director after this decision has been made?
Well, I will consider that. So I'm not prepared to answer that right now.
Mr. Chairman, all due fairness, I understand that this is a new idea and a new concept. But to say that you would consider what the majority of this board has just asked you and me to do is to be in defiance of the board.
No, I did not say, I didn't say yes or no. I said that this was brought on me as a surprise today at the board, and I want to consider that. I carefully consider it, so.
Well, I want to be able to do, and I certainly don't want to be, y'all asked me to do this. This is not something I'm dreaming of. I want to be able to do what I'm being asked to do. And I don't want to call over to the Secretary of State's department and say, can you put this meeting on schedule? And then have you behind the scenes saying, no, don't do it. That's not going to be a good working relationship. So I want to clarify that right now, so there's no issues like that going on.
No, I don't think it's proper for you to make accusations like that against me right now, not knowing what I'm going to do. And to surprise me with things like this at the last minute at a board meeting, I don't know how you would expect me to respond to that without considering it. So my answer is, when I've considered it, I will give you an answer.
Okay, and let me clarify. I'm not making any accusations. I'm only giving an example that if that happens, I don't want it to happen. So I'm asking the board to think that through so that when I call, I'm able to do what I'm asked to do. That's the only point I'm making.
You made a point, and I've made a point that I will consider what this board has voted on, and I will consider that. So.
And to be clear, Mr. Chair, I was under the impression that this would be something that you would be open to, considering the amount of work that, you've already discussed how much extra work, how many hours you've put into this volunteer job. You've mentioned that several times. So I thought this would be us taking something off of your plate that would allow you to free up some of your time. So the fact that there is so much pushback on it is alarming.
I haven't pushed back on it. I haven't given an answer on it, yes or no.
Okay.
So there has been no pushback from me. There's been no answer from me. I said that I would consider it. Like I said, this is a last minute request that I was not aware of prior to 5 minutes ago, and I will consider it.
We can ask.
Well, Mr. Chairman, life's full of last minute things that happen. When I walked into the SEB office and basically had no help, well, hello, that was a surprise.
We just hope going forward, we're able to address this accurately.
Any other comments, questions from the board on this? Let's move forward then into old business. Next item on the agenda is enhanced voting paper ballot image oversight.
Yes, Mr. Chair. I added this to the agenda. I just wanted clarification if there is